Hey Clashers, today we're playing a little bit of Warcraft Rumble, and a big thank you goes to them for sponsoring this video. And starting a new game is never really easy, because looking up guides you might see leaders which you have not unlocked, or you will see troops which you have not even discovered yet. So the problem is, how do you do that with the early level and maybe even get into PvP with not having unlocked the perfect combinations? Well, let's just dive a little bit further into how you build those decks when you haven't unlocked everything. Because for me, it was dependent on the first troop which I have unlocked, or the first troops in general. So for me, it was the Giant, for example, which is a super strong tank in the early stages. It can be countered later on, but for the beginning it was perfect, because around that I was able to build the entire deck. So for example, I took a leader which is dealing solid damage, and then as well build everything around it with some cycle troops in general, and with that you can just go through the first couple of quests super easily in PvE and as well win a lot of fights in PvP. So I think let's just do an example fight of PvE and then jump into a PvP match. Let's go. To prove that this approach of deck building in the early stages of the game really works, I would just go with the currently hardest mission for me available, which is going to be this one, which should be not an easy going whatsoever. So let's just dive into it. First off, obviously whenever you're starting a new mission, you should take a look at the map. We have some gold like sprinkled around. There's a tower on the left. We have the... Okay, that might be problematic. We have the stone which we can conquer to have like a better deployment area, but we have to be careful in the early stages for sure. We could use... our rotation is not the best, I would say. Let's just do this spell first, and then go with this distraction here. I won't typically use like the actual ability of the Raptors. I just want to make sure that I have a quick rotation and cycle card in my deck. And now we can start with the big push. That's typically always what I'm trying to do. Cycle through to build up the giant push, which works typically really well. Now, let's go further. We have the goblin here to actually get that gold. And then when the golem is tanking, we can get in with our unbound troops to actually take down the tower really easily. Let's see. Unfortunately, our leader is going down, but at this point that's fine. We can just cycle her back really quick as soon as the left tower is rebuilt and we get this deployment area back. But you can tell like those big giant tanks and everything in front is just so good for those missions. And I know that in later stages they fall off quite quick, but especially in the beginning it's just incredible how powerful they are. So let's just replace it, get another one in, get our leader in, so our spells are a little bit cheaper. And now we can like get them in here. Get this one, defend our own tower, but we would only defend it for like as much as we kind of have to really, and like not overcommit here. Now let's get the Raptors in there, and now let's get that unbound troop in there as well again. Our tower survives, and I think that should be pretty much it. We still have our spell which we can use now. Let's just get that in, and that means the mission is an easy well, victory in the end. So you can clearly see like this one big tank troop in front of you works really well. Obviously, as I said earlier, building those decks depends on the first troops you get. You might get a really good DPS troop instead of the tank. Then you can adjust with picking a leader, which is maybe a really good tank. Something which is for sure really good is, let's just quickly pick something here. I will go with the Griffin Rider. And then for a leader, which is otherwise really solid, is, well, Tyrion, which is really good as a tank. So we can use him then to replace the tank which you have as a troop, and just use then the troop DPS, and then still use a cycle overall, which means I want to have really cheap other troops to get to my main carry, even if it's tank or a DPS troop, really quick. But I told you already, this works as well really well in PvP fights. So let's just jump into one of those to see if I can prove that. Okay, we're in our match. Let's get ready here. With the big giant, obviously, the executioner spell is a big counter to us. So let's see if the guy has it. But as I said, in the early stages, a lot of people have not unlocked everything for, well, obvious reasons, because you're just started with the game. Let's just start again with a quick rotation of a troop here, and then get our push ready. And again, I'm always trying to build up one really strong push, because especially for newer players, it's really hard to defend those really big pushes. I feel like. So far, looking solid. I think we can... I will just get this in there. We can get this in here. Use the spell. Oh, I missed that actually. That's not really solid, but hey, that's okay. Let's just use our leader here. Unfortunately, we have now no support with our tank, which was not really what I was hoping for, but I think we should be so alright. We can get his next push on the left side. Our tower has already taken down his leader, which is quite nice. But, well, our tank actually on its own took down the entirety of the tower up there. That's just crazy. Now let's support him. I want to get back to our leader so we have, like, a better cycle overall. Just get this in here. And now we have our leader back, which means our spells are cheaper. That's exactly what I'm looking for here. And let's get his tank out with the Executioner spell, because apparently he does not have it. And this is pretty much a guaranteed win at this point for us. As long as we not really hugely mess up. But otherwise we should be good to go. So, let's just get another reinforcement in here. We could try to get the chest, which would be nice. But at this point I'm just currently concentrating on pushing. Non-stop pushing. I don't even go for the side objectives that much. But I can take down this gold here. Let's with one raptor take down this chest. And then we can build up another push. And at this point already you can tell, without having this Executioner spell, which not a lot of people have, it's just crazy how strong it is. Let's just cut this tank in half quickly. And this means we're getting the job done. Let's get, as soon as the tank is getting targeted, get this one in here. Get ready if he's using any troops to defend. And for us, that's pretty much it. So as well in PvP in the early stages, you can win with this approach. Have one big tank, a couple of cycle troops in your deck, and you're good to go in a really, really quick way with those up ranks, going through the first couple of missions, going through the first couple of PvP fights to unlock those nice rewards to have then an even faster progression. Because, I mean, that's what you're trying to do, right? Exactly what I just did. Unlock the first couple of things within the PvP to make sure that your progression is faster, the same as why you're going for those missions in general. So that's something which I can only recommend you when you're new to the game. And then as you're unlocking more and more troops, more and more leaders and getting them leveled up, then you can look at like tier lists and see, okay, overall, like I think that Rand is a really, really good hero, but I don't have him on a really good level currently, or I have all of those needed flying troops, for example, unlocked just yet, which makes this hero then even more powerful, if you know what I mean. So that's something which I can only recommend to you if you want to pick up the game. And well, if you want to pick up the game, you can download it now for free on the iOS or Android store with the link down below in the description. And again, a huge thank you goes to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring this video, because I got into gaming with playing games like Warcraft 3, and having now this universe continuing as well on the mobile devices is really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to see what is next for them on the menu. Well, for me, that's it for the video. I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next video. Until then, see ya everyone, and bye bye.